I'm tired. It is well, it's not a phrase, it's not a sentence, it's a statement that I make every day, like several times a day. And it has been just eating at me, trying to figure out why. Why am I tired now? What has changed? It's not like my level of activity has astronomically gone up. I feel like it's gone down. And it feels weird to talk about it with almost anyone, except for Christina, because everybody else like, oh, what you do so much. Yeah, I fucking do. And I also was doing that before. I have been doing this. I've been doing this. Why the fuck am I so tired now? This has just been an ongoing inquiry. Like, what do I need to do? Is it like food stuff? Should I have less? Should I have more? Should I go back to intermittent fasting? Should I stop running, start running, hike more, hike less, go super hard at CrossFit, maybe don't weight lift so much? I don't fucking know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I'm just looking at like the physical, just in my body. With nutrition, activity, sleep, I already know it's fucking trash. And it did not used to be that way. I have gone through ebbs and flows of good sleep and bad sleep. And typically bad sleep is when I am higher anxiety. And it could just be like one night of like staying up very late because I don't want to go to sleep. Because I'm afraid of laying there. I'm afraid of laying there and just having to listen. It's when like the monsters come out, you know, like they're not under my bed, they're in my head, they're in there all the time. And when I try to go to sleep, they're like, you know what, fuck you, let's start to worry about this shit. You know, something that happened in 1987. Going to sleep is scary. Going to sleep is scary for me, and so the best thing that I can do is tire myself out. Like a dog or a kid, you know? You're trying to get the kid to fucking go to sleep. We have to train ourselves to sleep. Some of us are just born sleeping. Black fly bites are scabby now. They're scabby, and I still look diseased, and I want to take my fingernails and like just dig a little bit right here and then see if I can just pull the skin off and then throw in the fucking garbage, because I think an open flesh wound would feel better than this. I pick boo-boo over itchy. Fuck itchy. Where were we? So passionate about the bug bites. They are bad. Okay, tired. So when sleep is trash, what is the reason for that? It is high anxiety, yes, whether over a period of time or in a shorter, more intense dose. I don't like that, because then that just exacerbates the condition. This is very obvious when I say it out loud. I knew this out loud. Maybe you didn't know it. Or maybe you did and you're like, oh my God, I totally did know that, but I didn't know anybody else knew that. Whose voice am I trying to do right now? I totally did. Like some skater boy. Ah, darn it. Anyway. Okay. Anxiety. I talk about this a lot. Because we're chatting at my time. This is why maybe that's why I feel, my water bottle's moving. More creative at night, because there's a bush outside and it moved because it's really windy, and it like freaked me out because I thought maybe it was an animal. You know, there's usually a lot of animals moving around from time to time. Look at, you see this one? He's always there. Okay. Anxiety. All right, so I don't like to go to bed because that's my most anxious time. But if I tire myself out with physical activity, then it won't be so hard to go to sleep, because my body will just make me do it, you know? So let's do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. And I'm used to that kind of exhaustion because I did it on purpose. Like, I understand why I feel this way. It's because I did this, this, and this. It's very logical. At first you're like, I don't understand, I'm so tired. Then you start listing out the things like, oh, that fucking makes sense. So the physical exhaustion is what I am used to, and I think a lot of people are used to. Being in the fitness world, it's not only like, it's my job, but it's my hobby. It's what I fucking do all the time. That's so weird. I really never thought I would be, I don't know, it's not that I thought about it and thought that'll never happen, but in the realm of possibility of like careers or life focuses that I could have chosen, if I'm like, say I'm 14 and I'm looking into the future, this is not what I would have assumed. Though if anyone ever asked me, or whenever I think about it, I didn't have any idea. I had no idea what was going to become of my life. Like, you know, some people are like, oh, I always wanted to be a veterinarian. I always wanted to get married and have 3 babies, 2 boys and 1 girl. Or I didn't always want to anything. Whoa. I didn't always want to anything. I didn't really think, I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think about it that much. Anyway, okay, so physical exhaustion makes you go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that will have me way more tired than anything else is the anxiety. Or really when the anxiety kicks up high enough to go into the depression. So there's like, again, this is just how I explain it to myself. Medically and scientifically speaking, I don't know if this is the case. But it's like, it's just like any other feeling. Anxiety is a feeling, it's an emotion that you can't control all the time. You can shove it down. It's like anger, it's like love, it's passion, it's, I feel like it's a personality trait that we can control with medication. Somewhat. Or we try to control in other ways, like demonstrating control, being super organized, cleanly, on time, just like neat and orderly and fucking drill sergeant-y about how things go. If you're very particular about how things go, it's a personality trait, but also like, or else what? Will the world tumble off of its axis if this thing doesn't go here, or you don't have this specific product? Really? When I feel out of control in one area of my life, I become hyper vigilant in my control in the other areas that I do have control over. So like, I cannot control other people. I can't control other people. I can't make people go to yoga. I can't do it. I cannot make them. I can't make them feel a certain way. I can't make them have a certain response. I can't make them care if they don't care. I can't make people do things. That's an interesting thing to come to terms with. But also very freeing to know like, oh, wait, no, that's not my job? I didn't have to this whole time. You can just suggest things and then let other people do with what they will. It's pretty great. Because then also the delivery has the receiver in option mode. Like, oh, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this, without resistance. And if you have a previous track record of giving options, then they'll probably feel even more freed up about what they're asking you. I got lost. I leaned away from the camera. That's what happened. I went over here into La La Land. It's interesting when I watch these back, I notice that I do that a lot, take a big sigh. I have been training breath a long time, and it's really cool to see. And so I know it works. Yoga, breathing, just being intentional in the moment, because then it starts to become automatic. And there are parts of the practice that are great to become automatic. You know, you could automatically go through a sun salutation. If you practice the Baptiste practice, you could automatically go through like the entire sequence without even feeling it or consciously doing it, let's say that. And you can start using your breathing, especially Ujjayi breathing, in the nose, out the nose, in order to get yourself back on track without even intentionally doing it. So for me, it's just a physical response that happens. It's automatic. It's been trained that much that it's in my body. So it's like, where am I? Oh, here I am. This is what I was talking about. I'm just explaining how humans work. So it's a good time, I guess. Okay, so using the physical exhaustion, but the thing that is the most exhausting is the mental stuff. So there are times when it feels like really bad for a period of time, and I'm in that period of time right now, and I don't like it, and I feel like it's been like a while, and yeah, I don't like it. So one, like, what might entertain, well, maybe I should go on medication, right? And okay, I'm just checking the time. And I have been on medication before. When I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, when the first wave hit, I was put on medication for, I don't know, some time, and then it was like on, off, constantly dealing with the lightning bolts that happen in your brain when you come off or go back on this one particular antidepressant, Zoloft. I think it does it with other drugs too, but I just remember being in that. It's like you're being tossed around in a fucking, what did she say? Christina, did you say a washing machine of emotions? Did you say that? But it feels like that, like you're being agitated. But then there's like the new fucking fancy washers that don't even have an agitator. Like, don't you want an agitator? Sell me on how that's better. I don't get it. Anyway, where the fuck did that come from? Agitated, back and forth, medication, on and off. And then my anxiety got really bad when, so as an adult, majority of the time I was not on any sort of medication. I had super bad anxiety when I was pregnant with Olivia, so I had to start going to a therapist because I can't fucking take anything for that. You just got to deal with it. And that is this should be a whole nother talk. The huge difference that I have noticed is that and I don't want to say common sense things because I have explained before, common sense does not exist, but of the widely thought or talked about notions, saying that becoming a parent completely changes you is one of the things that is absolutely true. I defy you to tell me otherwise. When you're actually a parent and you have to consider someone else, you have to move out of the way. And so I think that as mothers, oh yeah, I was like kind of talking about this earlier, ladies, this morning, the class. Yeah, you become a parent and then you have to fucking figure it out. There's nobody else to do, like it's you, especially if you're the mom. So you learn to move yourself out of the way and out of feeling somewhat the bad things. You just focus on, like, I gotta get this done, we get into the physical or the habitual things. I was talking about this before. Oh, help me. Okay, but over time of trying to avoid those feelings, the anxiety, it's slow. Like you can like quiet it down, but it's definitely going to explode. And then eventually the physical gets so fucking tired, but the anxiety finally creeps up, and then your graph, those two things finally meet, and then you blow up. And it could be about, it always seems like something real. And it may be something real, like something real and, tragic or traumatic, or other times just mildly inconvenient happen and you just lose it. Like you feel all of those feelings. I never realized that. I guess like, I don't know, I'm thinking of, I was watching, this is so random. I was watching Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. That's our guinea pig's name, by the way. Isn't that cool? Gordon Ramsay. So he would go to restaurants that were used to be popular and then now were struggling and needed his help. There was this one, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was in the first season. And it was this Italian guy, and he was just so fucking mad all the time, like shouting off at people. I didn't realize he was really feeling those intense feelings. Anyway, so the anxiety and the exhaustion meet. You explode. And then sometimes it takes a while for things to come back down. Couple hours, couple days, couple weeks. I don't know. It might be a while. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, God. In comes the comedy, right? Why are we like this? Why are you like this? You know what I'm talking to. Comedy is a wonderful distraction. The funniest fucking people in the world, they ain't happy. Mm-mm. People who are fucking funny are people who need to be funny for themselves. Because that's who really matters most. Like, it is amazing to have other people think that you're funny. For sure, for me, I like that. It's a quality that I value in myself. But I think I'm the funniest person in the room. And I will tell anybody that I am well, not if you're seeing like a professional comedian, but like, your average person. I find myself to be very funny. And I'm good at it because I have trained that, just like breathing. It's an automatic response. Because that feels better. Laughing feels good. But did you know, I don't know if this is real. So my medical friends, if you want to tell me if I am incorrect, I feel like I read or heard or watched on something. I watched, like a lot of documentary things about the body because I think it's fascinating. It really is quite a tool. This thing, look at all this stuff. This stuff just grew out of my head. Isn't that weird? Like, really, I know this sounds like a total stoner talk, but I'm serious. When's the last time you realized how, oh, look, my eyebrows grew on my face and here are my eyelashes. Look at all these things and all the specific, very specific things that they do. Your calluses are there for a reason. Your fucking nose hairs are there for a reason. Your ears are folded all weird with this extra little flap. For some reason, you were put together on purpose. Ooh, good. We're bringing it right back home. And part of your fabric might be, maybe some anxious stuff. Some mental things. Of course they are. We all have our things. Like, we really all have our things. Even if you meet somebody and you think they're totally normal, nah. They're just fucking boring and they're hiding. Sorry, that sounded harsh. I don't know. You don't have to listen to this. Nobody does. Oh, I had a whole medication thing though. Where are we at in time? Okay, real quick. So, medication. After, what do we call it? The Great Collapse, the dark time, whatever. When Dan died, 2015. I was in the hospital. They don't really let you leave the hospital after a serious, sorry, that made light of it. I don't like that. There's no way that I was going to be discharged without being prescribed medication. So I was on anti-anxiety and antidepressant, the same one, the lightning bolt one. And I did that for a year. And then I read, here we go if you want to write this down, Travis Barker's book, Can I Say? It's his autobiography, and I have always respected this man very much because of his drum playing. I think he's really fucking good. Like, everybody knows he's really fucking good, so this is not a... Well, maybe you don't know. Travis Barker, Blink-182, and like 700 other bands. So he went through a bunch of shit, people died, plane crash, all these things, and he was on a bunch of medication, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, and was like, I don't want to live this way anymore. And he just fucking tossed it out. Just totally got rid of it. And it was, I read it at just the right time, and that sparked me to go, the next time I had an appointment to talk about medication, I was like, yo, I want to get off this, so can you help me? And he said, I do not agree with this, but yes, I will help you because I don't want you to just stop. So that took like 3 months, and then I started CrossFit, and then boom, pound magic, I'm healed. That's not true. In fact, I was thinking about when I first started CrossFit today, there was the 6-pound wall ball was just left in the middle of the floor for no reason. There's only one of them, and it's orange, because a normal wall ball for a woman, I mean, the typical weight would be 14 pounds, but there's also 10, there's 12, 16, 18, 20. Guys always use 20. Then there's 25s and 30s for when you just want to fucking torture yourself. Wall ball, squat, throw it. Generally. When I first started CrossFit, I was still smoking cigarettes. I started in November. January, I quit. But I could only do a 6-pound wall ball because I was so overweight and smoking. And then I used to light up in the parking lot, no, I would wait till I left the parking lot, but I'd be afraid when I was on Railroad Ave that somebody would see me, like somebody from class. I was like so ashamed. That's kind of what got me to quit. Also, it was just really hard. Anyway, CrossFit's great. So I got off everything, and I've been managing my anxiety and depression as best I can. Well, for a while it was just alcohol. That was great. I mean, it seemed like a great idea. It wasn't great. And it wasn't like I was waking up places I didn't know. It just, and I think that's the misconception is like, if somebody doesn't drink anymore, they are in AA or NA or whatever, they actively quit a thing. We go to the television and movie version of what an alcoholic or a drug addict looks like and does. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. You can go to meetings without being that bad. Yeah. You don't have to have gone into prostitution to pay for drugs in order to go to an NA meeting. You're just trying to not do the thing that you're doing. There's a community of people that are like, yeah, that's a great idea. Stop doing that. Really, that's it. Bring it back. Yeah, not on medication. And sometimes I think about it. I'm like, man, would it just be easier? Would it just be easier to stop fucking fighting it and just fucking lobotomize myself? That makes me sound crazy, I feel like. I don't care for that term. Anyway, I don't want to go back to it because I don't want to be numb, right? Can't have the highs without the lows. It's not like I'm doing crazy shit when I have the highs. I just feel good. It's nice. Why are we talking about this? I don't know. But also my secret thing that I wouldn't say is I don't want to go back on medication because I don't want to get fat. Yeah, if there's any chance of it. That's the truth. So, that's all. Bye.